Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on March 14, 2026. And yesterday I posted a video about the signs of electromagnetic harassment, EMF exposure on targeted individuals, the symptoms, and there are stages of the symptoms, and not everybody experiences all of the symptoms at the same stages, and sometimes the stages are reversed for some people. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to start with stage 2. And at the end of stage 1, there were some other symptoms, which were social isolation, chronic fatigue and other illnesses, headaches, thoughts of suicide, depression, inability to hold a job, diagnosis of mental illness. And these occur when things have gone on for too long or a person feels like they're breaking down. Remember, there is always a way out. Look for it and be positive. Second stage signs. Burning sensation on the skin. Microwave weaponry is to blame for this. Loss of hair, hair breakage, premature graying of hair. She suggests wearing a silver brain coat at all times in the house. Less EMF sells that. Radiation and microwaves cause hair weakening and also skin cell breakdown. And I will say, as a fact, when I moved from 52 Sutton Drive in Alpha, New Jersey, a home I lived in for 30 years as original owner, and I moved to Kentucky, within the first year of living here, I lost half of my hair. And nothing has changed. So that goes to show you what's going on here in Jackson County, Kentucky, the criminals on patrol here. Feeling of temporary heating of the head. This is a demodulating RF effect. Remember to refer to the possible explanation of symptoms listed in stage 1 that I posted yesterday. Also realize that the longer that one is being assaulted with high energy levels, the more damage will be done over time. And I'm going to add that when this is being done to you over time, this is called premeditated murder. Rashes, narcoleptic reaction, sleepiness. Sometimes you sleep only after you're exhausted. Virtual insomnia. If pregnant, you may have a miscarriage. You'll have a gaunt face, haggard and drawn. Facial wrinkles start happening because what happens is these microwaves zap all of the fluids out of your body. It affects the collagen, the elasticity in your skin, and it drains the moisture in your body. Losing control, like unexplained anger, loss of skin turgor, waking after sleep, feeling as though you never slept. Children's symptoms may manifest themselves as ADD and ADHD. This is a microwave weapon system, and this is for educational purposes only. I'm reading from a website. Appliances will suddenly turn on and off. Some have had the experience of having appliances behave in unpredictable or inexplicable ways. Machinery containing motors will run far too fast or far too loud, causing them to break down quickly, possibly done through high microwave energy and signal jammers. Electromagnetic pulse bomb. Other symptoms: social isolation, chronic fatigue and other illnesses, headaches, thoughts of suicide, depression, inability to hold a job, and diagnosis of mental illness. That was stage 2. This is stage 3. Stage 3 is the loss of coordination, accidents from sleeplessness, damage to your eyesight, atrophy of the muscles, heart valve damage, loss of weight or weight gain, nausea, sensitivity to sound, decreased dexterity. You may have a seizure, like they did to my mother. Choking, vivid dreams, lost time, which is an Alzheimer's type of symptoms, but actually they can physically knock you out with radio frequencies. So that's another method that they utilize. You may have a change of mood, apathy, decrease in mental activity. Your limbs may jerk. This is from the directed energy weapon as you're trying to sleep. Weaknesses, lethargy or hyperactivity, forgetfulness, constipation, The fourth stage signs, syndromes, disease, insanity, for those who do not discover the real cause of their situations. Once you are educated about what is happening to you, it's better easy to understand it and deal with it, that you are not crazy and you are not alone, that this is being physically done to you. This is not genetic. This is not naturally occurring. This is an attack. Heart attack, like this is a fake heart attack, pseudo heart attack. It involves a sensation that chest is being tightly constricted, mimicking the symptoms of a heart attack. Stroke, death. Other symptoms: social isolation, chronic fatigue and other illnesses, headaches, thoughts of suicide, depression, inability to hold a job, diagnosis of mental illness. Something that I have not read here yet, but something is also is an effect are nosebleeds. Nosebleeds and runny noses when you don't have a cold. That is cerebral fluid leakage. So detailed information, like a recap of the symptoms listed above, are: you may be a victim of electronic harassment if you experience visual distortions and hallucinations, you experience manipulation of will, emotions, feelings, and perceptions, you experience reading thoughts remotely, retrieving memories, implanting personalities. This is performed by your perpetrator, tapping into the electrical activity of your brain and decoding your thought process without your permission. By doing this, your gang stalker would be able to know certain things that you're thinking or viewing at any given time, which is a gross violation of privacy. You experience debilitating mental acuity, inability to concentrate, disruption of ability to think rationally and independently. You experience a loss of memory and knowledge. You experience inadequate states, which targeted individuals have never experienced before. And this would be states of narcotic intoxication, depression, obsessive desires, and so on. You experience blurred vision. You experience burning sensations, microwave burns on your skin or internal organs. Excruciating artificial pain in any part of your body, including heart attacks and other serious medical conditions. You feel pinpricks on various parts of your body, cramps, seizures, spasms. You may feel some type of energy moving inside your body. You experience extreme head pains. You feel drop in your tracks fatigue on a regular basis. You continually have difficulty sleeping, control of your sleep patterns, sleep deprivation, or uncontrollable sleep. There's manipulation of human behavior, forced speech, where you say something that you had no intention of saying. It came out of like nowhere. It's being manipulated by your handler, your stalker, to force you to say something that you had no intention of saying. Involuntary body movements, arms flailing or jerking and away from the body. Transmission of specific commands into the subconscious, compulsory execution of these commands. You hear the voices of other people inside your mind with no other signs of mental illness. You hear intense, loud sound or electronic sounding noise, often mistaken for tinnitus, microwave hearing. You hear voices that sound like chanting while an electrical machine is on, like the radio, refrigerator, electronic fan, air conditioning, or air vent. Like when you attend my live chat, we hear the creepy voice in the background, right? Sounds like a mechanical voice, grumbling mechanical voice. You experience induced dreams. The induced dreams, incidentally, are also easy to obstruct. The activity occurs when you have reached the REM, rapid eye movement stage of your sleep. Your brain at that stage is entrained by ELF, extremely low frequency, which deepens your sleep, thus eliminating the prospect of your being cognizant of the quasi subliminal auditory input being pumped into the back of your skull by bone conducted means. The quasi-subliminal auditory input is what influences the course of your dreams. In a semi-conscious state, you can physically recognize this attempt input as resembling short burst transmissions which, when impacting on the back of your skull, creates a hissing sound, sort of like a 5-second or much longer intervals. These intervals are not always the same. They may increase in time apart, like every minute or so, or they may come rapid fire and continue for a count of 100. Demodulation can be blocked. All that is required is that you protect the back of your skull with the aforementioned materials before you fall asleep. Brain coats or caps are big. Anything silver, 55% silver or greater, and plug your ears against the sound. Noise cancellation headphones and or foam earplugs. Also, if you're able, make up some type of Faraday cage to protect your entire body. Be creative, and remember, even magnets are amazing. Rare earth magnets are specifically, and she says, see my help pages on how to block EMF and microwaves, very important. She was discussing magnets. And that is the end of stages 2, 3, and 4. And I hope everybody's doing well. We have the live chat tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. All subscribers are welcome. If for some reason you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe at that time, and it will take approximately 10 minutes for you to join in the chat. So I will hopefully see you guys later. And remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow. Get the message out there again. These are symptoms of electronic harassment in stages.